Hello once again, everyone. I'm your host, Marble Jester. Now that we've progressed a bit, we've had Disturb and Dream. The mechanics skills use pick locks, yep. We've had Disturb and Dream pertaining to the Animancer. I suppose a magic user who does things pertaining to the soul, such as implied by the Greek word anima for soul, or cause of movement, as animation of a body is caused by its soul. But I digress. We are now going to continue on. We're going to go back to that tree. We're going to go back to that tree and check out just whether or not this girl's alive. And we're going to ask some questions to what's-his-face. But first, there seems to be something going on around here. Aloth, what's up with you? Aloth, oh, you have your own portrait. A sorcerer, that is. Aloth, you see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Everyone calm down. Whatever this is about, I'm sure it's an overreaction. Angry townsman. One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. We are humble folk, but we're no fools. Not like he thinks, mocking us while he shelters in our village. We don't take to that kind of talk from foreigners, especially not Adrian's.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fucking racist.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
Ah. He's a lot more potty mouth than he looks.
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
Cheeky people all about. This is unnecessary. Wouldn't you rather be inside drinking than out here arguing? We don't want your charity either, foreigner. They squinted at you through red, bleary eyes, suspiciously like you're defending him. Whoa! Okay. Got him! As the last of the attackers falls, Gilles turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You mean for slaughtering them? You're welcome. I'm glad I could help.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
I have an accent? He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
He sounds a little regal. He might be rich.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Several hooded figures operating a strange machine. Aleth goggles at you silently, apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally, he gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
How did you manage to cross those three drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
War with elves. You did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. Ah, that. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. Just for a moment, he looks as if he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lips so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. What are you doing in Gilded Vale?
Excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
Yes. And you? I've been experiencing strange things of late. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
He nods to the gnarled tree in the center of town. That animancer. I expect that such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
Oh, well, I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Amen to that. So do I. Let's go
Excellent.
then.
I shall follow you.
Great. But first, let's loot these. I almost said a bad word. Golden. Oh. See, dagger. Club. Oh, I was expecting that to be another form of torch. It's cool that, loot selections like that are grouped together, you know what I mean? Urgate. Sellsword. Archer.
I have received confirmation that Lord Radric's heir was not born well. My lord has issued an injunction on all new homesteads until he can be assured that the village has been cleansed of all Eothasians and whatever other undesirables that have brought this curse upon his lands. It would be best if you left town as soon as possible. I would suggest returning to your old home. There will be no place for you here. You may stay at the inn until you can make the necessary arrangements, but I would not advise remaining long. I expect Lord Radric will be most thorough in his efforts to purify this place.
I've been feeling strange ever since a close call with a biowick. Is there someone in town who could help? No, I'm not going to ask that. Tell me about Lord Radric. He comes from a line of nobles who have defended these lands since Adir times. Radric II was an early supporter of Deer Wooden independence during the Revolution, and the current lord's father perished in the Saints' War. Hollowborn began appearing in the Darewood shortly after the war's end. Lord Radric has taken upon himself to purge the curse from the Gilded Vale. His measures have been severe but necessary. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to have been enough to protect his heir. Saints' War? Our age's most egregious example of man's madness. I never thought I'd have such difficulty pronouncing that word. Man's madness. 15 years ago, the people of Raidceris decided that Waidwen, their living saint, was the literal incarnation of the god Eothas. Urgate wrinkles his pinched nose. This supposed saint took it upon himself to liberate the Darewood, supposedly from allegiances to less worthy gods, but I've never known an army to conquer a land for its people's own good. The war lasted about a year, but you can guess what that year did to the worship of Aethys in the Darewood. Lord Radric's forebears had all been Aethasians, but after his father fell defending us from those lunatics, he personally saw that the Temple of Aethys here in town was shut down. He points at a few ruined walls near the tree. Goodbye. I'm gonna go into here and... Sky between the roots and are bracelets of twine and bead, wilted flowers, and notes half erased by the rains. Caldera de Barenzi. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bow that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it. You feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Reach out for the woman. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there's a sudden jolt to your mind, a raining electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she's staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog. Her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives you a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear, or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
How are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
She nods.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
What do you mean, when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sputs from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
I think I survived a Beowulf. Do you know why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
You said souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
I want to know something about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
What's an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us? The best? Inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins, miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
What happened to you? She laughs, a rasping, choked cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now! Such a question! As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found? Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
I had other questions.
Of course, dear.
Am I imagining this? I know that I'm not, but
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy, even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
farewell.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldara closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. Aloth looks at you with narrowed eyes. Are you alright? You seemed lost just now. He said, I'm a watcher. His arched eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that is interesting. He gives you a sly grin, and I expect this has something to do with the hooded figures in the ruins, In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about Watchers? Only that they're rare and that they seem to have unique insight into certain soul conditions, he coughs, as you just demonstrated. Let's continue on. I'm freaking out.
17 and a half.
17 out of what? You're trying to get my attention. The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke into its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
What are you talking about?
People hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Oh, France. Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19.
You look...
Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What was that about a dwarf?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you a moment, his brow arched, his smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
Impossible. I don't drool half as much. No. Do you know what a watcher
Careful,
is?
friend. Let's not use that word round here. There'd be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're going to be hanged?
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fella who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
The war? Saints' War. Only one in my lifetime. Fell decides he's the living incarnation of Eothas. Overthrows Rid Saris, marches on Darewood, so we gave him a Darewooden hello. What's a Darewooden hello?
Blew him up.
He smiles at this, but it is a smile of one recounting a joke for effect rather than enjoyment. Sad over it. Who is Aethys? God of rebirth and redemption, formally anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. That was just my mum, if you heard that. Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Roderick sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kulsk, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for plotting against Radric, then for protecting me. What does your town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and then I did too. But, he didn't make it back.
Oh dear.
After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Aloth glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. Who's Kulsk? Someone got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now, probably will be till they catch him. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Because I have smelled drinking, mostly. We could travel together. Point of fact, I'm on my way out, just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. A whole lot of places out there that don't think Wadewin's legacy started with Wadewin. We could travel together. Where are you headed? Some place called Sid Nua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy. There's a fine reason if I ever heard one. There's a fine reason if I ever heard one. Sorry.
All right, then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
He tilts his head forward and gives you a pointed look. Then let's get going. Alright. 83 HP. Alright, so a warrior-based guy. Let's go check out the inventory. See what he's all about. Let's see, he's got a saber, a shield. Fine armor. Alright. I do believe, yeah. Nope. Forget it. Oh, there are some mushrooms over here. Some cows over here. Any of the farm? Stables? Here. Wait a second, who was that? Just a villager. Said Nua. Oh, I have to go to the southern end of town to reach the point there. I see. Well, there's a little jolt here. Here, let's increase the speed. Already read his story, I'm sure. Alright, Magran's Fork, the midway point between here and Sidnua. It'll take you 4 hours to complete your journey from Gildedville to Magran's Fork. Accept. Now, pardon me a moment, I have to take a bathroom break. And I am back. Pardon me. I had many a task to do. I've been gone for 2 hours at this point. Well, it appears I've leveled up from this little boost of XP. Let's see, points left, 6, let's see. So, to increase, I suppose... consumable duration. +5. Alright, that'll be good on its own right there. But athletics, how should we raise athletics? +20 max fatigue, minus 80 combat fatigue gain. I see, alright, that should be a good little increase there. Next. Oh, I can learn... Let's see. It costs 2 points. No! No, it still costs 1 point to get a level 2 spell. Consulhaut's Corrosive Siphon. Eats away at the target's spirit, inflicting corrosive damage and converting that essence into endurance for the caster. Second level wizard spell, speed average, range 5 meters. Infused with Vital Essence. Infuse the caster with Vitality, giving them a temporary increase in current and maximum endurance. +10 max strength, +10 max health for... Nah. I was hoping it was a healing spell. Let's see, Wave Spire. Creates a scorching ray of flame between the caster and the target, inflicting continual burn damage to the target and anyone caught in the ray. Average 10 seconds, average burn versus reflex +10 accuracy. Ray of Fire sounds good. And what about Necrotic Dance? What's that? Creates a lance of pure necrotic energy, causing corrode damage instantly and over time. Console has Corrosive Siphon to suck up their energy, and Ray of Fire for a dense beam of destruction. No new talent unlocks, I guess it's like perks. Happens every second level, like on Fallout. Alright, let's continue on. You can't pick those. Can't pick those either. Hey, who are you? What are you?
Saw you in the flames.
It's a ghost. And who are you? Durance. Oh, a buggy-eyed fella. Durance, squatting at the base of the statue, is an incredibly ugly man, with bulging red cheeks raked by pox scars and a scraggly beard. He is sweating, as if he has a fever, but his breathing is measured and steady, like a slow push of a blacksmith's bellows, but that comparison feels strange and unwelcome. The next comparison, possibly sparked by his grin, is that of a bear trap And then out of nowhere, there's a hint of alchemical fire that fades almost as soon as you identify the smell.
Come to pray at the statue?
The question mark is barely there. As the man makes the statement, the statue takes on a reddish cast, as if one is holding a torch to it, then slowly blossoms into waving flames. The man doesn't turn as the statue blossoms into fire.
The others are welcome, but it's best if just you and I trade words, and your shadows stay quiet. Hands off their weapons, both arcane and steel. It's only you I want to trade words with anyway. I swear before the whore that is Margaret, no harm will come to you in her shadow, if that's enough of a promise for you. If not...
The staff rests easily in his hand. It wasn't there a moment ago. Focus your gaze on the staff. The staff looks thick, stout, of blackened ash once burned by a terrible fire. Beneath the ash, the lines in the wood bear shapes and patterns, and there's a certainty the staff was once something far more dangerous, but not now. As you study it deeper, it shimmers slightly in your eyes, like water catching the light weaving across the statue. Whatever power was bled from the staff, it doesn't make it, or the wielder, any less dangerous. You look up to see the man, watching you studying the staff. As his gaze meets yours, he nods, with a humorous smile. Examine the statue. The weaving firelight from the statue gives off no heat, so much so if you wonder if it is some trick of the mind. The elderly man before you doesn't seem to notice it, or feel it, although the sheen on his brow is still present, as if he's burning up from within. Study the man himself. The sun, weaving flames from the statue of Magrin, casts more light on his features. The man's robes are dirty, stained with grease and other marks of the road. The hems of his robes, including the sleeves, are burned at the edges, as if he walked a great distance across a fire, then reached into the flames with his hands to pull something out. I didn't catch your name, or why you want to speak with me.
I didn't give it. You probably find names as useless as I do. The names that litter this world like debris are hard enough to wrap around the tongue. And what do they matter? It's what's beneath the skin and the letters I care about. What burns within. It's more important to me you're a watcher than whatever culture or accent decorates your letters like awkward crowns. Take pride in your actions, not where you hail from. Or how your name rolls off whatever liar's tongue coats it now. If you need a title to hang on me to match your own, Watcher, then call me Durance. And as you observe souls, I test them.
What do you mean? Durance shakes his head, and his hand curls tightly on his staff. I can see the questions bubbling up. Let's burn them away, one by one.
I am a missionary. I walk this diseased nation with its heathen, its people so careless with the spirits of others and their own. Watchers among them. Yes, I know you for what you are, and your name doesn't interest me. Names are for honest folk, and you are a crack that shines light from another place. We're meant to travel together, you and I. Saw you in the flames. Not your face, but that soul of yours. All tightened up, like a huntsman's knot.
You saw my soul in the flames?
There's things we can teach each other. If you're in need of answers to your mantle of questions. I don't force my words on anyone other than you. I don't care who walks with you or what their mewling problems and politics are. There's enough howling in the world without me stoking that fire. I won't take from your provisions, don't need much on the road. I can carry my weight, which is considerable.
Very considerable.
Many will stand against you. They probably already have, from what I can see. Left their marks, it seems. Like a trail, worming its way behind you.
What kind of marks?
Disease? Spirit wind? Both could have touched you, yet here you stand.
It seems as though both disease and spirit wind have touched me.
As for disease, not all of us were close to water when the pox hit. but it's no longer a passenger in my flesh. It left its marks as well. But like flames, the pox doesn't strike twice, nor is it catching.
Company... If your stone mistress there allows it, then come on.
Her? Don't fear her jealousy. Let us see what the road holds, Watcher.
Alright, I have a fourth guy, and he seems very powerful, actually. Let's check out his inventory. What kind of style has he got under his belt? Let's see, the scepter. I'm just checking out the elf for the meantime. This guy has the saber and the shield. This guy has a staff. Quite a damage-inflicting staff at that. Properties: increased reach, burn and lash. Yeah. Let's see. Alright. Let's see, where was it supposed to be heading again? West to Gilded Vale, south to Anglos Impasse, east to Black Meadow.
Yes?
Anslog's compass, that's where I was supposed to head,
Of
right?
course.
Down south? Oh, whoopsie daisy. I want everyone to be together. In this forever. To the end of time. The deer! Maybe I shouldn't have just ran at it. I'm gonna skirt some St. Garen's horn. Ah, there's another crossway point between here and Sid Nua. Enzlach's compass. No, no, no. I don't need another waypoint. I need to head west. I need to head east. Pardon me. That's right. Never eat soggy wieners. That's the thing. So come on. We're in this together. Friends forever. Ludrana. There, that one. Get that one. These guys look a cut above. Oh, so now this guy. No, not that yet. Yeah, this one, you point that at him. Yes, let's see what kind of spells you have. Divine Mark. Next target for retribution, inflicting burn damage and lowering deflection. Actually, what? I think I might want to redirect that at the guy who's farther away. No, I can't. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, new guy. Why are you getting your ass kicked? Awesome. Okay, battle's over. Take it all. Ooh, what's this? Vidrana's Grimoire. Right click for details. No, never mind, just take all. You found a new Grimoire. Grimoires often... Found a new Grimoire. Grimoires often contain spells that your wizards may not know. For a small cost, you can learn those spells from the description panel. You may also fill additional Grimoires with different spells. Place them in your wizard's quick item slot to switch them, but be careful, switching Grimoires will temporarily lock wizards out of spellcasting for several seconds. So don't do it in battle.
What?
How may I help? Hey.
Here's a big fat hissy fit. Stranger danger. Alright, let's compare the saber with the... See, is this two-handed? Yes, it's 17 to 14. Oh, let's see, saber one-handed. 15 to 22. No, it's 17 to 24. I see. Awesome. That's completely unnecessary, but... Hold on, I forgot the whole point of that. I gotta... So I'm still unsure. Is that better or worse than the Grimoire I have right now? Alright, let's go Black Meadow, even though that place is apparently very, very dangerous. Blizzard Return has been made possible through the contribution of more than 77,000 fans. We at Obsidian wish to extend our gratitude for the opportunity, feedback, and support. I think a game this gorgeous is gratitude enough. Where are you about? You know that is minor missiles? Here, I'm gonna cast some more magic missiles. Now, this guy. What sort of actual attacks does he have? Barbs of Condemnation, since decrease in their deflection fortitude. These are all like buffs and disparages, you know what I mean? Like status inflicting stuff.
Lava will be unseated. Yes. Arthek were Thunroth.
Wait, I hit my own guys? Awesome.
Hey.
Oh. Troll skin. Alright, I got some of that, yeah.
Of course.
I'm gonna select all my guys. You know what? I think I gotta set up camp. Here, how do I even do that again? Ah, here we go. Do you want to camp here? Yes, let's rest. Alright, now let's continue on, now that our health is all good again. And let's stay on the road to avoid encounters. Keep it to the east, don't get curious. Scout mode, I saw something up there, but... Guild mice scatter, crawling between the beast's teeth. An ancient dragon, huh? Dragon skeleton? More torture devices. This place used to be harsh. Either that or, It's the freaking Lord around here. Yeah, sneak. Sneak up there. Don't piss off that troll. Ah, cool, we're outie. Sid Nua, finally. It will take me 18 hours? Okay. Suit yourself. Jesus. During combat, an arrow moving out of one character's selection circle into another's indicates melee engagement. If the engaged character attempts to move away while the arrow is active, they will instantly be targeted by a disengagement attack. Or disengagement attack. No. It says disengagement. That's probably just a typing error. We're in a city. Let's not sneak. We look like fools. Who are you? Kinda. Just off the side of the path into Sidnua stands an imposing figure, a tall, thick-set Almoa, clad in worn armor and peering up at the outer walls of the keep. In his hand is a small piece of charcoal on it, works feverishly at taking notes upon a small scrap of paper. More than once he has to reach up to prevent his colorful cap from falling off his head as he gazes upwards. That moldy brickwork must be fascinating. Now, what are you doing over there? The man looks over at you, blinking in surprise. His face splits in a wide and very toothy grin, and he waves the parchment in greeting. Killing time, if I'm honest. I've hardly walked the perimeter twice. There are times names scratched upon some of the bricks, just there. Workers and masons, I expect, carving a little immortality for themselves. He looks up at the wall again, expression fond. It's a fine keep, said Nua, 2 centuries to its name, and abandoned for nearly as long.
But the truly interesting part is in there, and I haven't had much luck in reaching the keep itself. I hoped to find the master of this place, a man by the name of Meerwald, but it seems that he either holds his privacy most dear, or else has been devoured by his house guests.
I came here looking for Meerwald as well.
Oh, truly? Then perhaps we can help one another. The grounds are infested with all manner of beasts. I've never seen the like. I didn't want to risk it alone, but you seem capable. Together, I'm sure we could manage it. And then we can both ask our questions of Meerwald. I seek a great treasure, you see. Not gold or silver, but the Tanvi Oratoa. You might call it the Book of Virtues. It's a sacred text of the Rauatai, but we possess only a fragment of it. A year I've journeyed in search of the rest, and I uncovered evidence that leads me to believe the original lies just there, beneath the keep.
Let's go meet Meerwald, then. Why would this Tanvi Oratoha be here in Darewood? Precisely, that is the very question, he laughs. It is a long and twisting tale, my friend, as all good chance should be. I can tell you more if you wish it, in time. Let's go meet Meerwald, then.
Excellent. Lead on, my friend, and I will be at your heels. Ah, wait. Speaking of that, I ought to warn you first. Wondrous teeth, I nearly forgot. I have, at times, been followed. It began in Adir, and in Exometal they attacked outright. I believe they do not wish for me to find what I am looking for.
Who attacked you? Who's following you, never mind.
I say believe, but I have been told as much by one of my would-be assassins. I paid them little mind. Humorless sorts in long robes. But it's why I bought the sword, you see. And it's only fair that you should know.
I'll keep an eye out. Let's be on our way.
I'm glad you're not discouraged. Come then. Who knows what we will find inside?
Epic! We got 5 people with us now. Oh, and let's see, Aloth leveled up. He's got great lore skill and a little bit of mechanics. He points left. So, I should give him my scrolls, huh? But let's see. I think a little bit of survivalism would be good to match. bulwark against around the cast, suffusing them with bonuses to burn, freeze, corrode, and shock damage reductions. That's useful. And what about combustion wounds? Cause enemy wounds in the area of effect to ignite, inflicting additional burn damage over time each time they are wounded. Ah, so like it accentuates on strikes with burn damage. Done. Okay. That's great. Now. That's not an opening? Not even? Oh, no, it is.
It looks like this place has been abandoned for years.
Yeah. It's constant recovery. They're always got constant recovery, just like
Brave thou Philos believe.
Damn, son. Wait a second, I gotta cast a spell here.
Stand still!
Attack him! Will-o-wisp.
Yeah! Let's go, big guy. We got your back.
Does it automatically regenerate? Oh no, confuses people.
Leave it to me.
Huh. There we go.
Of course.
Had to enter scout-in mode. So that was
Margaren's
freaking...
fire casts light in dark places.
There. We're going to, engage in the art of the rat. So that we may survive. See, examine. What's this all about? Only weeds grow on this dusty patch. The hedges grow in shaggy heaps, shot through with weeds and tall grasses. The gun mode is used for both stealth and for hiding hidden objects like traps and secret containers. While scouting, your character's selection circles will start to fill with yellow when a character is starting to detect them. Once the circle fills yellow, the character is suspicious and will move to investigate while the circle fills red. If the circle becomes fully red, your characters will be discovered. Oh, okay, so... While scouting, your character's selection circle will start to fill with yellow when a character is starting to detect them as in enemy characters. Okay. Moving toward a character accelerates how quickly they will detect you. If you actually touch the selection circle of a character with your own, you will be immediately detected. Let's see. See, I'm going to attack the will-o'-the-wisp. Before anything else. Alright, create a feel holy energy around the piece. Burn if this vicinity will generate an lost amount of endurance for all allies. Sure.
Lava beyond sea. Lava. Gotta take better care of Ella. Just get quiet. Leave it to me. You're not getting.
Let's end this! For Takoa! For Takoa! Let's end this!
Messed up, big guy. We got your back.
God damn it, why didn't you do anything there?
You're not getting through me.
Shit. You know what, I'll call it an end for this episode. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.